David Menzies for Rebel News here in Aurora, Ontario. Well, folks, I'm standing outside the headquarters for the York Regional Police Service, and the reason for my visit here today is just to bring you an update on our legal action against the York Regional Police. Now, as many of you may recall, back in January, I went to visit the taping of the Rogers hometown hockey program in Vaughan, Ontario. Now, the reason for my visit was to try and scrum Ron MacLean. He is, of course, the ex-Coach's Corner Don Cherry sidekick, who still has a job, but, of course, Don Cherry, he was unceremoniously axed back in November because some of the uber woke executives at Rogers deemed his comments about Remembrance Day to be politically incorrect somehow. In any event, I wanted to get Ron to weigh in on that, and I wanted to find out if Ron had any buyer's remorse for not coming to the defense of Don Cherry, something that Don Cherry had done for Ron, at least on a couple of occasions. But a funny thing happened on my way to interviewing Ron MacLean. Even though I was on public property, several members of the York Regional Police took it upon themselves to physically assault me. They shoved me, they pushed me. At one point, I was even put in a bear hug. And if you think I'm exaggerating, folks, well, the camera seldom lies. Check out this footage from January.
Why?
Listen, I'm not talking into your microphone.
I can do that.
Listen, you can sit there and film me, but you can't shove the microphone in my face.
Okay, then I'll be on my way.
No, you won't. Not in here.
Are you kidding me?
Throw yourself into it.
Are you kidding me?
Throw yourself into it. You're not going in there.
I can't walk on a public street. What is this?
You're not going in.
Why are you holding
You're not going in because I'm trying to prevent a criminal offense.
Huh?
That's what I'm doing.
What is a criminal offense?
It's called criminal harassment. You're harassing Ron MacLean. That's what we're stopping you from doing.
Now, what you saw was absolutely outrageous. It was a violation of my charter rights. Indeed, it was against the law. You can't detain and physically assault someone for the presumption that they're going to do harm to somebody else. I think we saw that movie back in, 2003? Tom Cruise, I believe it was called Minority Report. So we have a pre-crimes unit here at the York Regional Police Service. Nah, sorry, the law and the charter doesn't work that way. In any event, we decided to take action. Enough is enough. After all, if that kind of garbage happened to one of the government-funded employees of the media party, well, that would be front page news on a weekly basis, and there'd likely be a royal commission struck to get to the bottom of this. But because we're Rebel News and we're not on the government payroll and we're bringing you the other side of the story, well, we are on our own. Well, not quite on our own. We reach out and we depend on you, our beloved viewers, to help us fund these initiatives that we take to stand up for our rights, to stand up for freedom of the press, because let's face it, nobody else is going to in this political climate. And after filing our lawsuit on January 29th, we just the other day got a response from York Regional Police. Their lawyer says they need more time to file a defense. Yeah, evidently 6 weeks isn't enough time to cobble a defense together. But then again, how do you defend the indefensible? Well, we're being Mr. Nice Guy. We are allowing them 10 extra days in which to put a defense together. And then when it goes to court, we'll see what happens. If it goes to court, if I was York Regional Police, I think I'd want to settle out of court, folks. I really would. The camera evidence is so damning. But there's another reason for me making this video today, and that is, again, to reach out to you. If you can help contribute some money for our legal costs. After all, we're going up against York Regional Police Service. They have an endless trough of taxpayer dollars to fall back on. We do not. We've already spent a few $1,000s in pursuing the case right now, and it hasn't even gotten to a court of law. So, folks, if you can, please visit our website, standwithdavid.ca. That's standwithdavid.ca. And if you can kick in a couple of bucks, I would really, really appreciate that. After all, we're fighting for the right to bring you the other side of the story. We're fighting for freedom of the press. We're fighting for independent journalism. But we cannot win this without your help. So once again, standwithdavid.ca. Please make a donation to help us in our fight. And I thank you in advance so much for your continued generosity. Once again, folks, we depend on you to help us fight some very deep-pocketed opponents out there. Please go to standwithdavid.ca. That's standwithdavid.ca. And if you can kick in $1 or $3 to help us fund our legal action, that would be so greatly appreciated.